Yeah, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are calling from. This is your brother, your friend again. I am here to do some little analysis today on what is happening right now in our state, in Edo State. I want to just invite friends in, press your button, let's invite friends as we discuss this afternoon. Please just share, put up your share button, invite friends. Listen to this beautiful and wonderful music. Thank you and God bless.
The ancient city is calling. All rise, sons and daughters of the land. The king of the city is marching.
Please just share.
To the pride of the land. The founding fathers have labor and our time to serve is now. The glory of the new mega nation will forever be our pride. Beautiful and glorious and you're the heartbeat of Nigeria, beautiful and glorious and stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. Our treasures are found in all nations, and our greatness is second to none. Our history forever shall be written. How our kings have endured all time. A people culture in unity. Our hearts before the land. Rich culture, stories of heroes, legacies forever be. Beautiful and glorious and you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful and glorious and stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. Unite and stand with each other. Forgive and let it go. Together we can stand, come what may, and the future lies in us. Teach our children to teach their children what our fathers taught us all. To fear and love the Creator, holy land shall we succeed. Beautiful and glorious and your heart is on Nigeria. Beautiful and glorious and stars are singing over you. You're the land people choose to be.
Thank you guys. Please just press the share button. Let's invite friends. Let's share, let's share.
Samuel Agbojian, also known as Razili, is one upcoming entertainers from Edo State that has benefited from this administration.
No, Godwin Obaseki, the way to see Governor, have really fulfilled.
This guy that just plays speaks now is one of those guys that is disabled, that was supported by Obaseki, which actually came out from this 419 guy called what's his name? Genosage. There was this guy that has some issues, disability issues, that was supported by Obaseki. Obaseki actually made him to be who he is today. He gave him over a million naira to shoot his first record. That is part of Obaseki's agenda, making Edo great again, making Edo be the first in everything that it does. You know?
I never see this kind of mental. I never see this kind of love before. Wonder, 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 wonder. What's that? Baby, cause I'm making a cargo. Wonder, 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 wonder. I don't mind the cargo. I'm a second, come on, love people. Make you go see secretary to smoke to price for long. I don't see those out from a plenty salary a lot. I don't think I come from under to give it now. Pension you the second people no more protest for their money. Market to make the second people no money later collection.
Please just share. Invite friends. Let's share.
No money. Put the bag in you to come on see the collection. What's happening now? Other people say make you carry go. Make you check the construction. Other people say make you carry go. Make you check assets. Other people say make you carry go. Make you check agriculture. Other people say make you carry go. Make you check economy. Other people say make you carry go. Make you check development. Other people say make you carry go. That's a key. Say make you carry go. Wonder, 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 wonder. They don't get shot, they even they don't use it to not collect. They don't get shot, they don't know. They don't use it to not collect. Just have the good work of property. Not go walk in my life. If you collect and you go back, they don't use it to not hear me. They be getting the killer. They don't use it to not hear me. What's the apple for Bala? I'm very big blessing. They be getting the killer. They don't use it to not hear me. That's a key. Wow. I wonder. Other people say make you carry go. Wonder, 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 wonder. Who are the final say in the election? They don't people as a final say. Who are the final say in the election? They don't people as a final say. The people say now that's a kid them on. Carry to make you not carry go. Yes, is waiting for you. I said, who are the final say the election and the people as the final say? Who are the final say the election and the people as the final say? And the people say, no, that's a kid and one. I even make you not carry go. But someone that is a yamo. Yes, is waiting for you. Mama,
Jane, God bless you, man. God bless you. Sister Mary, God bless you. Please, let's just share. Let's share this word of freedom. Sergeant Rufus, God bless you, sir. Sister, I go bless you. 4 plus 4, top bar. No shaking. Obaseki is all the way. Thank you guys, thank you guys, thank you guys, thank you guys. Now, today, you know, I normally, you know, talk on popular demands. Somebody called me and said, please, sir, can you talk about the technocrat governor and the political governor? The technocrat governor and the political governor. Somebody else said, okay, can you talk about the People's Assembly and the cabal assembly? I said, yeah, I can talk about that, but you need to give me some time to put up my write-up together before I can come out to talk about it. And I've been able to do that. And today I want to talk about the difference between a technocrat governor and a political governor. The difference between the People's Assembly and the cabal's assembly. That is where he's going to tell us, we as the Edos, we are heading towards in this 2020 general election. Yeah, these guys, in this year election, it's already something different entirely. You're going to see the entire Edo state is already, you know, lit up on fire based on the manner of approach of the election that was brought in by the noiseless governor, the Maton one of Edo State politics, His Excellency Godwin Enogega Setwa Obaseki. It came with something different. Today we have rallies on all the streets. Today we now have what we call word-to-word rally. Today we now have what we call, you know, flag of rally. Today we now have march on the street. Everything about this guy is always different and superb. It comes with its own idea, it comes with its own ideology, and it is working for the people of the state. You know, yesterday there was a massive rally in Benin Metropolis by Abad Obaze, the field marshal of the Toba family. And today, right today, there was a massive rally in Ovia Northeast, you know, sponsored by the Edos in diaspora, led by Comrade Roland Omorodion and Madame Juliet, popularly known as Mommy Island. You know, these are wonderful, initiatives that was brought to bear by our Governor Enogega Obaseki. That is the definition of a technocrat. A technocrat is one that comes out with something brand new, something you've not seen before, something you've not witnessed before, something you've not heard before. That is what they do. They are technocrats. They are innovators. They innovate new things. They come up with new ideas to make the job easier and more interesting. Today, the PDP campaign is so much interesting. The PDP campaign is so much interesting because the PDP campaign is not going to the grassroots. It is not a campaign on issues. It goes to the people. It goes to their domot. You know, it talks to them one-on-one. It sees their plights. It knows what their issues are. It knows what they need. and is ready, giving them promises based on what he saw on ground. That is what he has been doing. He has run off with the entire Edo North, senatorial district. Now it's now in the Edo South, which is going to start by next week. That is the definition of a technocrat. Okay, now, a technocrat the first thing is this: a technocrat has no structure, has no political structure to service. And people, listen to me. A technocrat has no political structure to service. But a political governor has a lot of political structure to service. Actually, a political governor has 192 principalities and powers to service. Somebody's going to say, yeah, in every ward that makes Edo State, we have 192 wards, and that 192 wards actually has 192 leaders who are feeding on the collective wealth of the state. But because a technocrat does not have a structure, it is easy for him not to service anyone, but to service the masses, the people that actually voted him into power. So if you vote Obaseki, you are voting a man that will use your money for you. But if you vote Isaiah Yamun, you are voting a man that will, first of all, take care of the 192 principalities and powers that has held Edo State hostage since the creation of Edo State. So the first is a technocrat has no structure, a political governor has a structure. Number two, a technocrat does not think of the next election. A technocrat governor does not think of the next election. But a political governor thinks of the next election immediately he wins. I'm going to explain this very clearly. If you watch Obaseki up to today, jobs are still going on in Edo State. Teacher salaries are still being paid. Pensioner salaries are still being paid. He's not worried either he's going to win or he's going to lose. As at this time, 2012, the Edo State governance was already shut up by Oshomole. Every money that was accrued to Edo was being pumped into Oshomole's re-election. That is a political governor. But a technocrat does not think of the next election. He thinks of the people. He thinks of the next food the people will eat. He thinks of the next hospital the people will go to. He thinks of the next road he's going to do. Technocrats do not think of elections, but political governors think of elections immediately one is finishing. So you must understand this very carefully. And when man begins to think of an election, it will not be stable. All it does is to, as a matter of fact, feed fat these 192 principalities and powers, which represent each ward, so that in the next 4 years, it will be re-elected back again to Sadebe Avenue. His actions, his thought is all about what he's going to get, not what is accrued to the people. If you vote Obaseki, you vote a man that will work for you till the last day. If you vote Isaiah Yamu, you vote a man that the moment he's being sworn in is thinking of 2024 from that day. Today, for example, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Lagos Jambadan, and the Lagos landlord is already fighting for 2023 when Buhari had not even finished 1 year of his tenure. That is a political president to be. But a man who had the interest of the people, a technocrat, like the former man, President Goodluck Jonathan, he worked to the end. Technocrat does not have anything to think of. They believe that the people is their primary responsibilities. Number 3, a technocrat sees the masses first. A technocrat sees the masses first, but a political governor sees the structures first. A technocrat sees the masses first. A political governor sees the structures first. So, if you vote Obaseki, you are voting for your future. Because Obaseki is there to see you first. He says, I will not share the people's money. But if you vote Zeyamu, the lions and the tigers, the Oshomoles, the Henry Darbons, the Lawrence Orcas, the Igodomigodo, the Darbons, and all this bunch of political criminals, we eventually begin to feed on what you were supposed to feed on. We have to service them first, just like Shomole was doing, with 1 million naira every weekend after they would have finished partying. But if you vote Obaseki, there will be no structure for him to feed because he does not have any. He only just come there, lead the people, and go away. Number 4, a technocrat governor can step on toes without looking back. A technocrat governor can step on toes without looking back. But a political governor will never want to offend the structure he has on ground. A technocrat governor can step on toes without looking back. But a political governor will never want to offend the structure that he has on ground. Do you know why Obaseki had the courage to stop Aberu? Because he was a technocrat. Do you know why Obaseki had the courage to ban CDAs? Because he was a technocrat. Do you know why Obaseki had the boldness to destroy the Kabaka's hotel? Because he was a technocrat. Do you know why Obaseki said the government house would no more become a party ground? Because he was a technocrat. He never cares of who is going to cry. Never cares of who is going to step on their toes. Do you know why Obaseki had to take away the contracts? Most of these, over-bloated contract from these people and had to bring it down to the normal price of the contract because he was a technocrat. He wasn't bothered about who is going to cry. He wasn't worried about who is going to be offended based on what he's doing. But a political governor will never want to try that. He will be very, very careful so it doesn't offend the structures that he has placed on ground, which he thinks is going to use to win the next election. That is why you must vote for Obaseki. A technical governor signs MOUs. A technical governor signs MOUs. But a political governor gives contract without any proper legal framework. A technical governor, a technocrat, signs MOU because he wants everything documented. done the right way. I've already discussed that in my last video. You know what an MOU stood for. You know, it does everything to be documented. But a political governor gives contracts the way they want. That was why our brother to the Kabaka says, why can't Obaseki give the contract to do roads and build schools? Say, why can't Obaseki give the contracts to do roads and build schools? Do you know why? Because they think that Obaseki was a political governor, one that has a structure that it needs to feed. These people fighting Obaseki today are actually the principalities and the powers that has held Edo State hostage. They are actually the demons that is against the development of Edo State. That is one reason why, as a true Edolite, you must stand to defend and to help and to join Obaseki to bring down these powers who fed their own Edo, who fed they are the people that decide who gets who and what gets what. A technocrat signs MOU. A political governor give contract without proper legal framework. That's why one of our brother got over 2 billion naira and didn't do the road because there was nothing, there was no MOU signed on it. Okay. A technocrat governor gives contract to the best. A technocrat governor gives contract to the best. But a political governor gives contract to political friends. A technocrat governor gives contract to the best. There are biddings. The best gets the job. Do you know the 5-star hospital actually collapsed one time when crane fell on it? And Oshobale had to repay again for that structure to be erected because there was no MOU on it. It was a political friends that actually got the contract. So the government had to bear the cost of the mistake of the contractor. But when there is an MOU, when there are legal framework put in place before the contract was awarded, it will become difficult for such loss to have come into Edo State. And that is why you must vote for a technocrat. It is only technocrat that can take Edo and Nigeria to the promised land, not political leaders. We are done with them. They have no idea. All they know is politics. They do not actually have what it takes to establish and build a business. Oshobale had left office now for 4 years plus. Oshobale does not even have a farm in his village. Izeyamu had left office since 2007. Izeyamu does not actually have an office, a second address, because they are actually politicians. That is their job. That is their job. Okay. Now, a technocrat governor believes in the saying of the majority. A technocrat governor believes in the saying of the majority, but a political governor believes in the minority deciding the fate of the majority. I repeat again. A technocrat governor believes in the saying of the majority, But a political governor believes in the minority deciding the fate of the majority. You see what Obaseki is doing? He's going from street to street. He's going from word to word, telling the people what he wants to do. He believes the power belongs to the people, not some few people deciding the fate of the majority. It is political governorship that breeds godfathers, because they actually decide the fate of the entire people. A man will sit in his city room and said, okay, Mr. So and so, you're going to be the governor. You are going to Senate. You are going to House of Rep. You are going to Assembly. You are going to this. You are going to that. These are actually the definition of a political governor. And that is one of the things that Ize stood for. If you want to get a prosperous Edo, you must vote for one that thinks of the future, that thinks of 20, 40 years from today, not one who is thinking of now, who just think of what they're going to earn, what they're going to gain, not what they will give to the people. A technocrat governor believes in the rule of the game. A technical governor believes in the rules of the game. But a political governor believes in shifting the goalposts at every point in time. A technical governor believes in the rules of the game, but a political governor believes in shifting the goalposts at every point in time. So these are some of the characteristics that is embedded in Governor Godwin Enogerase Obaseki. That is one reason why the Edo people must line up behind this man and give him the maximum support that he needed in a time like this. He needs it because some of us who actually knew how governance operates, we are here to make the people to understand that the future, our tomorrow, our today, as at now, lies in the hands of this man. Is one that can be able to take us to that place that we are supposed to be, because he has us at heart. A technocrat governor does not believe in rigging. A technocrat governor does not believe in rigging. But a political governor believes in winning at all costs. You saw what is happening in the Edo State today. They want to go and beat JB at Ronibe. You saw what is happening today. They are threatening people everywhere, beating up people. You saw Mr. Riceman Kenneth. He must have came out, having that he has been threatened. You see what is happening today. They call people, they want to buy their PVC for 20,000 naira. You see what is happening today? They are going on a rally. They are paying people to come to the rally ground. You see, somebody was talking on YouTube. I was watching one guy, one supporter of Obaseki on YouTube, and he was saying that even Obaseki does not even have police anymore. That the federal government has taken the police from him. Obaseki never see anything. The federal might now will use against them. I sat down and started listening. I started wondering. It means if you tell me or you are telling the people that you're going to use the federal might against them, you are indirectly telling the people, that you are not for them. You're indirectly telling the people that the people are not the one that are voting for you. You're indirectly telling the people that you actually are just so you're telling the people that you actually just want to get power at all costs, using the federal might, busting with the federal might as a way of showing that yes, actually, you own the federal government. We just saw that our pastor has now become Alhaji Malam, Pastor Osage Izeyamu. I'm not against him. He has his life to be. But that is the highest level of desperation. That is what a political governorship is all about. They are ready to do anything just to hold on to power. A technical governor does not wish anyone dead. A technical governor does not wish anyone dead. But a political governor sees power as the only hope he or she has to relevancy. So therefore, they're ready to do anything to hold on to power. I'm telling you this. In 2012, when Oshomole was going to a village, I'm not going to mention the name of the village to avoid any kind of issue. There were some people who were actually coming on his way. Right during that campaign, 2 people were shot dead by Oshomole orderlies. They call it an attempt to attack the governor. But on 2 occasions, or on 3 occasions, the life of Governor Obaseki are being threatened by miscreants, by political wannabes from Oshomole's camp of the EPM. One, when he went to Iyamo, during the convocations, and Oshomole invited the governor and other dignitaries that were with him to his community house at Iyamo. The governor was attacked, and vehicles on his entourage was being destroyed. The very day that the governor flagged off his campaign in Edo State, while he was going to the Oba Palace to officially present himself to the Oba as a candidate for the governorship election, as he embarked on the rally to seek for the fatherly blessing, he was also attacked by miscreants that were also loyal to Adams Oshomole. Few days ago, right at Adam Oshomole Dormont, in his own word, at Iyamo, Obaseki again was also attacked. For the 3rd time, But all the guy says, calm down, do not react. Because Obaseki feels the blood of any Edolite, his political ambition does not want the blood of any Edolites. That is a technocrat. One who sees every human being within their geopolitical spheres that he governs as equal to him. Oshomole sees himself as a god to the Edo people. But Obaseki sees himself as equal Edolites. That is the work of a technocrat. A man who people get insulted, yet he says nothing. I think there's a music that was on the internet that was played by Brother Tony Kabaka. He called his name, he said, "Oh, Obaseki said, "I'm Bubi yo Listen, that will never happen in any state in Nigeria. That one man, not even a political actor, will openly, publicly insult the governor and he will still be standing. He cannot try to wiki. He cannot try to Gondre Dollar. Gondre Dollar, dethroned the emir of Kano, Emir Sanusi, Mohammed Sanusi. All because Sanusi preached against the emir. Preached against the emir. Because of that statement alone, he was dethroned by this man who is here today to lead the APC campaign in Edo State. But yet Obaseki sees them as equals. Obaseki sees himself as the servant of the people, not their masters. And that is what Oshomole did not see. Oshomole sees himself as a god in Edo State. We remember Oshomole said, "Go and die." We remember how Oshomole threw Major Loye to the back of a pickup and locked his own commissioner up. He told Oloye on the street, "Your cup is full." He asked the policeman that was with him to put handcuffs in the house of Commissioner Oloye, Major Oloye. And they threw this man into the back of a pickup van. And they took him away. That is the difference between a political governor and a technocrat governor. A political governor sees himself as a god. A technocrat governor sees himself as a servant of the people. People will say, Obaseki, you are too quiet. Why are you not taking laws? You have still all power in your hand. Why are you not doing this? Because the man is a technocrat. He sees himself as a servant. How will I begin to use the power given to me to oppress the people that I'm supposed to serve? Obaseki see us, that we employed him. We gave him the job. We are his pay. We pay him. We are his boss. That is what Obaseki sees. But Oshomole sees us as his slave and himself as our boss. That is why he had the effrontery and the audacity to go to Esha land and in the presence of the Onoge of Uromi, of Oshomole was still saying, how can an Enoge slap a woman that if he had the chance, he would do it the second time in the presence of the king? It means he had no remorse. He had no apology. He sees himself bigger than the royal king of the land. That is a political governor. A technocrat will always come and want to know what is happening. Please share this video. Let them know Why we call him technocrat? Because we must begin to tell them every name they call him, we begin to tell them why we believe the name is working for him. That's going to be my job. Every bad name they call him, I will come and tell them what are the advantages of that name. Because they are not educated, because they are not too enlightened. So they don't really understand what it takes for a man to be called a technocrat. Obaseki is a technocrat. And Alhaji Malam Pastor Osage Izeyamu is the politician. Overnight, he became a Malam and Alhaji. All for desperation to rule the people. Your future lies with the modern technology that can only come to play through a technocrat, not a politician. And those people vote wise and save your tomorrow. Vote wise and save your tomorrow. A man that has done this in a few years will tell you that the man actually had something upstairs that is going to use or that is going to deliver to the people. Do you know why these people actually gang up against Obaseki? Have you heard of the saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend? How many of you have heard of that? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Because they have one thing in common. What they have in common is your money. What all these politicians have in common is the treasury. So anybody that will stop them from having access to the treasury is an enemy. And anyone that is the enemy of that person is their friend, no matter how bad the person has been to them. I'm going to analyze some names for you to understand. The first person is Dr. Eberane Pius Odubu. Pius Odubu was the deputy governor of Adams Oshomole for 8 good years. In that 8 years, Odubu never saw the red barrel that the governor uses in signing anything for 8 years. During the time of the election, Oshomole told the world that Odubu was a very diabolical man, that he can never trust Odubu, that Odubu wanted to kill him with charms. The next person is Osage Izeyamu Malam Alhaji, pastor. Anyone you want to call him now, because he has a lot of titles now. In 2015-2016, Shomole called him AK-47 at night, pastor in the day. Shomole said he will never give the key of his kitchen to Izeyamu because he will steal every food in the kitchen. Oshomole said Izeyamu was a fake pastor. Oshomole said Izeyamu has 700 million naira case of EFCC. Oshomole said Izeyamu does not want a board chairmanship position in his government. All names were being called were being called Malam Osage Izeyamu Bashomole. Tony Kabaka. Do you know, according to Tony Kabaka's cousin, who came out on Facebook and began to rant He said that Tony Kabaka actually screwed Isayamo. He said Tony Kabaka was the one that actually went to the house, sent him to the house to go and start shooting guns. We all saw the video. That Tony Kabaka screwed Isayamo that is supported today. Osaro Obaze was illegally removed as the local government chairman for the local government by Adams Oshomole. Even when the court reaffirmed him, Oshomole never returned Osaro Obaze back to the local government until Oshomole left. Every one of these people today who are against Obaseki today are actually enemies of Oshomole. Now, what is now bringing them together? What is the similarity? What now brings these people together? Do you know why? Do you know what? It is the Azar, the treasury of the state. Obaseki came. He locked up the treasury. He swallowed the key. You don't put it because you know if you put it in the river, they will send Deva to go and look for the key. He swallowed the key so that the key will be in his belly. For you to take the key away, you must have to kill him first. He swallowed the key. The Azaki was in the belly of Obaseki. So when all of them found out that they could not get to the treasury, all these enemies of Edo State, who were before now politically divided, all of them came together for one purpose. For one purpose. To dislodge the man who stood for the people. I tell people, I say, listen to me. If there is any man that the Edo people need to stand behind, it's Governor Obaseki, who was able to stand and defend the people, even at his own detriment. Such a man needs to be appreciated. His name needs to be written in gold. I'm telling you, I can promise you this. When Obaseki leaves, many of us will remember him for the wonders that he did. It's not easy. All these people today, they had different political agendas. But their one reason they are together today is because this man refused to share the collective wealth of the state to them. So they will do everything to make sure they remove him at all costs. Share these brokers, invite friends down. People must hear this. People must hear this. People must hear this. So you will not understand why I am crying every day that Obaseki should be the project. That Obaseki should be the matter that we need to discuss. Do you know this Victor Edoro, today's speaker? You know, me, I normally do a lot of work. I don't just come outside. Edoro was a speaker in 2013 to 2015, thereabout. Between 2013 and 2015, that's when he was the speaker of the State House of Assembly. No, between 2013, 2014, yeah. It was Oshomole that plotted the impeachment of this same Honorable Victor Edore from government. Oshomole impeached this guy because this guy only asked Oshomole to explain what Oshomole wanted to use the 30 billion naira for. This stormwater project. So they come and explain to the House why he needed the 30 billion naira. That was Oshomole drove him away, impeached him. The same Edora today has not become a shameless hard man to create havoc in the government of Obaseki. I began to ask myself some questions. What is actually wrong with these people? A man who destroyed you politically, a man who has so much vandalized you. Today, you guys are also queued behind him to fight a man who is trying to liberate you from political prison that this man has placed you guys in. I begin to wonder. He said Yamuka today has a body that is carrying all for Adams Ali Oshomole. Heavy burden that is carrying around today on his shoulder. All was Adams Ali Oshomole's handiwork. I said the kangaroo speaker, Victor Edoro, was impeached by Oshomole just because he questioned Oshomole 30 billion naira water project. Why is it that those people Oshomole actually messed up are now the ones fighting for him? This will tell Edo people that these guys are all for their personal interests, not the interests of the people. This will tell you all that these guys are for their personal interests, not the interests of the people. Excuse me, there's people that need to leave my wall. I've told you before, you don't come to my wall and start throwing insult on anyone. Let me look for that guy and kick his ass out of my wall. Okay? Obaseki started a new political order that is different from what they are used to. And they play in such a game is so difficult that they have to resort to merging with their worst enemies to remove him from power. Listen, do you know what the greater problem today? Obaseki idea is what you don't even understand. Nobody understands it. Even me, when the campaign was about to start, was saying, Obaseki, why is Obaseki not doing campaign now? Why is he not talking? Why? I never knew that the man was just sitting down doing strategizing. He was strategizing. Before we could know what is happening, the guy came out with a word by word campaign. I was like, okay, how can Obaseki do this? How? Today he has already finished with the donut. He's moving to Edo Central. Now, very soon, he's going to move. He's going to move down to Edo South. First of his kind, because the man upstairs here is still very, very working. Notice hired rally people coming around. These people, this group of people are actually the 192 principalities and powers. I repeat again, the 192 principalities and powers that have held the state oath stage for years. You know, in the book of Ephesians chapter 12, chapter 3, verse 12. Ephesians chapter 3, verse 12, you know what the Bible says? Say, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world, against wickedness in the highest places. These people are actually the ones that held Edo State backward. They shit on our collective destinies. Listen, I'm gonna ask a question here. I'm gonna ask one question here. Before now, I think say Edo State only get 5 oil wells. So that's what I think. We they call Edo State civil servant state. We they call Edo State civil servant state. Now, whereas Edo State has 384 oil wells. 384 oil wells belongs to Edo State. And we're calling Edo State a civil servant state. These guys sat on our collective destinies for years. It was when Obaseki came that we really knew that Edo State had oil well. A state that had 385 oil wells was living in abject poverty, all because of some greedy individuals who wants to feed on the collective destiny of the entire people. How many of you also know that Edo State can pay their bills without borrowing? It's only in Obaseki time that I knew that Edo State actually has what it takes to pay bills, to pay teacher salaries, to pay pensioners, and at the same time doing massive infrastructures all over the state without borrowing. Do you know that today that Obaseki has done over 280 roads? 280 roads in Edo State. Do you know that today Obaseki has constructed over 40 healthcare centers all over the states? Do you know that today Obaseki has constructed many schools, uncountable schools all over the state? Do you know that Obaseki has trained over 12,000 teachers from analog to digital all over the state? Do you know that Obaseki went into farming and it has revitalized the farming sector all over the state? Do you know that today Edo State has now become the lowest unemployed state in the whole of South South with about 19%? Whereby Imo State has 48%. Kano State has 40%. In the whole of South South today, the lowest unemployed state in South South is Edo State. This is a state that was once called a civil servant state. I'm not saying it by myself now. You can go and ask. It's Obaseki that make us to know that the actual ticketing, what we call, cutting ticket in the park, in the market, there were billions of naira that was coming from it. The very day, I said it last week, Kabaka gives 36 million naira to the Edo State government in the year. That same year, this guy declared 1 billion, not 1 million, 1 billion naira. 1 billion naira. That's why he was able to build an hotel that worth 500 million. All under the Akube Ventures. Tell me which job did Kabaka actually did that gave him such a massive wealth? Obaseki opened our eyes to see that internally generated revenue in Edo State can actually fly to as high as $1 billion naira in a year. These are things that we need to know. This whole thing is not about propaganda. This is about facts. This from the north to the south to the central of Edo State, Obaseki has touched every part of Edo State. infrastructurally. He has touched every corners of the state with one project or the other. People can come in, you can insult me for all I care. I don't have a job, fine. You that have a job, why are you on my wall? I don't have a job. You are watching a man does not have a job. You are worse than me. And those in diaspora supporting Obaseki should not stop advocating for good character in government. We should continually advocate for it. We should not stop. We should defend him no matter what. It is our responsibility because we are the ambassador of Edo State. We are the ambassador of Edo State in diaspora. We are actually the one that is carrying the state along. Apart from the government and some well-established individuals, the next set of people that brings in billions upon billions of naira into the state are we that are in the diasporas. So we have a stake if the state must move forward. People listen to us. People respect us. We have seen the difference between a political governorship and a technocrat governorship. So we now know that the technocrat can actually do much with the little resources that is available to us as a people. And that's the reason why we must, as a matter of fact, continually to support the Governor Obaseki. Not for any other reason, but for being who we want him to be. If the developmental strive of Obaseki cannot make this 102 principalities not to think twice, that shows they do not have their daylight as heart. I thank God for this, my brother, comrade, Stanley Osaze Osahuenohodin. He has said before, I fought Obaseki because he refused to give me stomach infrastructure. He said, but one thing is this, I will not deny the fact that Obaseki had worked. I spoke with somebody yesterday, and the person told me Obaseki is working. We know that. But he needs to carry the people along. Many people knows that this guy is doing wonderfully well. But personal greed has been the thing that have actually destroyed them from accepting the fact that Obaseki had become a model of good governance in Edo State. Some ask me to show him 5 projects of Obaseki government, and I showed them 10, and he said he can't see it. A guy asked me, called me. He said, I see you on Facebook every time you are talking about Obaseki project. Can you tell me 5 projects that Obaseki have done that we are not seeing? So have you heard of Edo Best? He said no. Have you heard of Edo Job? He said no. Have you heard of Edo's Up? He said no. Obese Johunko? He said no. All the roads, he said no. What about Osomo's power plant? He said, I gave him 10. He said, no, it's okay. I pray for you. This was my prayer. I pray for you today. In the name of Jesus, may you not see good thing again. In Jesus' name. He off his phone. He said, no, I pray for her. As you don't see so, may your eyes not see good things again. May your eyes not see good things since you don't want to see. Continually to be blind to the truth. All because you want to be politically correct. Then they asked me this question. You know, me, they said, why is Obaseki doing road without no walkways? Why does Obaseki do roads without no walkways? You do know that these people are so dumb. For real, sir. You know, these people are actually so dumb. If you are in Europe, if you're in Europe or you're in America, or you're in the developed world today, many of the roads in this developed world does not actually have a walkway. All they have is the drainage system that is being covered by slab. I'm going to explain that later, shortly before I close. So, sorry guys for taking your time. The Obaseki do road without no walkways. I said, okay, is that the problem? I said, they say yes. So that's why you want to vote him out. They say yes. It's okay. Number one, when Shomole came around Ubowo Aziz, around 5 Junction Aziz, around Dancing Road, Dancing Road, Useluche area, when he was constructing the road, he actually destroyed people's houses. Obaseki is not inhuman. Obaseki is not inhuman. Actually, Oshimane destroyed people, our fathers. Those houses that were built in those days, it destroyed their houses. Today, most of them does not even have frontage anymore. It destroyed their houses, all in the name of actually making walkways. Yes, it is beautiful. It did that perfectly well. And most of us applauded him because actually that area was a major highway. We call it the Trunk A Road. What these people don't understand is this. There is the Trunk A, the Trunk B, the Trunk C Road. They don't know. They don't understand. It is difficult. Even Oshomole himself does not even understand the difference between the Trunk A, Trunk B, and Trunk C. They don't know. So it's difficult when they don't know. It becomes very, very difficult for anyone to let them understand what Obaseki is doing. You cannot put a walkway on a Trunk C road. It's not possible. The inner street, where you tie inner street, you don't put walkways on it. It is impossible. Mount will say, persona impossibili. It is impossible. Even in Europe, the Trunk C road does not have walkways. You walk on your side, on the side of the street, not walkways. So I began to tell this guy, say, listen, the Trunk A road, yes, that because Oshomole actually did most of the Trunk A road in his time. The Ubowo Aziz, the Airport Road Aziz, and all those areas there, were all Trunk A's. So they needed a walkway because the cars on that road, they're supposed to fly at a minimum of 90 to 140 kilometers per hour. Those people on that Aziz were supposed to fly at a minimum of 90 to 120 kilometers per hour. So in such a road, you needed a walkway to avert the people from being hit down by hit and run vehicles. That is the Trunk A. Just because they don't understand how a proper system works, it is difficult for them to know what Governor Obaseki is doing. That is the truth of the matter there. So why do you have Trunk? Why do you have walkways? You have walkways because the road, the area, the speed at which the vehicles runs is very, very high. So you need to create a wider, walkway to reduce the risk of hit and run on the road. That is a Trunk A road. A Trunk B road is the road that is within the houses area that can also lead to the major expressway. For example, we have the 5 junction. Okay, now we now have the street they called the TV road. Okay, we now have the one they called the TV road. Yes, the other one that is going from Oliamak. I don't know what that one is called now. That's the TV road now. The TV road. The one and the other one coming from Ring Road. Now these are all trunk B roads. These are all trunk B roads. Trunk B road doesn't have walkways. Even in Europe, what they create is a slab where the water, the drainage, they put a slab on top of the drainage. Now, this drainage is now, the drainage slab now helps as a walkway for people. Because in that road, you don't drive more than 70 kilometers per hour. If you do that, then you are beating against the law of the traffic. You are beating against the law of the traffic. So therefore, in a trunk B road, you do not need a broad walkway. It is simple and pure. In the trunk C road are the roads in the street where the houses are. Like Oro Street, like what's it called now? Just give me any street in Benin there. You know that lead to a trunk B road. You see, a trunk C road leads to a trunk B road. Then from a trunk B road leads to a trunk A road. That's how it works. So the trunk C road, you don't drive more than 30 kilometers per hour because you are driving home. That is how it works. This law is universal. It's not only in Europe or in Africa. This is a universal driving law. So if you cannot correct your drivers, if you cannot put up a proper way of your people to learn how to drive, do not blame the governor for doing the right thing and you think he's doing the wrong thing. It is you that is wrong. You must find a way of making things to work the way they need to work, not turning things all around just to get some political points. This is where I get a little bit, frustrated when I talk to people. They don't want to get this. So when they say there is no walkway, now you not get me why Obaseki refused to put walkway on some of the roads, because the law does not require it. All those streets within GRA, why would you put walkway? To do what? You don't drive more than 50 kilometers in those roads. Normally. You don't drive more than 50 kilometers. You don't drive more than 50 kilometers. You don't. 30 kilometers maximum on lanes. It's 30 kilometers. You don't drive more than that. You can't do that. That's what it's supposed to be, because you are going home. You are within people's environment. Do you know why? Even because the people, the children are in that area. So they play. That's what they said. The children play. They can run into the street as at any time. So you must make sure you don't drive above a certain, kilometer per hour. So you don't need a pedestrian to move on. See, Obaseki gets in part. They don't know which Obaseki they do, because the way of Obaseki is not the way they are used to. The man, they follow rules, laid down international rules. Then they follow waiting they think, because they drive a bill driving for those states. The thing, we must vote, because the only way we can leave this level of mediocrity, the only way we can leave this level that we are in Edo State, is to get a man like Obaseki to complete his 8 years and pepper them and explain to them what a good governance, how a state needs to function. You don't for you to do the right thing and correct your driver to do the right thing. Yeah. Yeah. You do the right thing. You not correct your driver to start doing the right thing. It's as simple, but they don't want to because these people are their people. They know when they are coming, they do like see the world lies on them. Or they say, Obaseki doesn't know how to do road. He cannot even do a trunk A road. He's not putting this thing in. He's not. I say, oh God of Israel. God will help us. It will take us. Because we that are talking now, they will say we don't know what we are saying. Okay? I don't read this because these are things I know. I'm not come abroad. Just come make money. I came here to actually learn how things are workable. I didn't come here to make money. But that's why, you see, I am out for Obaseki because I actually sees that what is happening here where I live or any part of the Europe I've been to is the same thing that is happening in Edo State. That is why I am all out to tell the people, look, the best we have gotten after Ali and Ubemudia is Obaseki, not even Shomole. So my question, my advice to you today, if anybody tells you from today onward, Obaseki tie road without no walkway, kindly ask them what part of the road was tied by him. Just ask them what part of the road was tied by him. If they say inside street, tell them say, bros, Obaseki does not need a walkway. That answered their question. It's as simple as that. They feel that because most people are so dumb, they are so dumb, so they can easily get to their brain, use them. But some of us who get sense, we will tell the people, say, not be so it be. It passed the way it be. They can't play us with what we know is right to be wrong. For me, enough work. Somebody also told me about Edo Best. I think I will end there. Let me end with Edo Best today. There are many things, but time not day. Except for now, I make a continue. Just say continue. If you want to make a continue, say continue. Make a year. Just say continue. Let me continue. Let me see continue for a year. If you want me to continue, Facebook. If you want to continue, say continue. YouTube. If you want to continue, say continue. Let me continue. Should I continue? Okay. Charlie say continue. I hear. Facebook, let me hear when I make a continue. God bless you. Alakuna. Now, they were talking about Edo Best. Somebody said, the person that already said it was this boy, this white brand envelope, what's it called? Brand envelope activist, Imada Bogun. Say, I have not seen anything about Edo Best anywhere. I say, Aya, you will still go school. I put my hand for Mark. The day himself and my brother Osakuno Koji had the debate at Nigeria Watch. I said, EJ, look at this boy. I said, now so I felt so bad when I hear him talking. I said, EJ, man, who is kind people be this? Do you know that some of us actually went to school, we went to university. When we got to university, we can't sit down, university can't pass us. University can't pass us. Then after 4 years, we can't come up for the school. Now school pass us, don't be who pass school. So we just went there, we got a certificate. We got a certificate, we get that for hands. They will carry the certificate, they work out pass down. But brain, we not get, because we live on our brain. We live on for school when they come out. I will just use school, drop the brain, we leave one for there. Many of these guys were cultists in school. Cultists. And I know some, now no one people will be cultists now. I know one people go talk in there. Some of them were cultists. So the time when their children, where their mates go day class, they take lecture. These people, they inside bush, they blend somebody. The time when their mates go day class, they write exam. These some people, they pour acid for somebody private part. And at the end of 4 years, they go graduate. They not enter class. They not enter class. Reach. If you put the whole 4 years together, they not enter class. Reach 100 days for the whole 4 years. And they finish school. Now school pass them. They not pass school. Now this kind of people. Now this boy, this Emmanuel Abogubi, school pass him. As he not get work, he could decide to enter activism. So that people come, they see him, they give us small money. We will take the chop. Then when I listen to the Commissioner of Education, and when I listen to the Governor of Edo State, and I call some people back home who actually are teachers, and I ask them some questions about the Edo Best from the direct source, not from government. Do you know that these people taught me things that shock me? Do you know that these people taught me things that shock me? One of the things they told me was this: that as today, the entire Edo State curriculum, they are the same. Number two, they told me now that the first time that all the lesson notes in Edo State, they are the same. English by English, word by word. English by English, word by word. So, if somebody that is in, for example, Iyobe Primary School is teaching, teacher is teaching Iyobe Primary School, and somebody that is in maybe Uwali Primary School is also teaching. They speak the same language. The lesson note that they are going to put on the board are not the same. This is what is happening in the Western world where we live in. Then the balancing in how the children goes is not the same. Not like before. A school will have a very intelligent teacher, and the other one will have a very dull teacher. And when these two people that comes together, the one that has the intelligent teacher does a better job. The other one doesn't know what to do. It does not bring a balance. But today, fix the same thing because they have the same curriculum already put in their pad. That has made Edo to have risen from the level they were to where they are today. The standard of teaching has also increased because 12,000 teachers have been trained on the modern way of passing information to the children. You know, before now, teaching became a very difficult thing in Edo State. In Europe, sometimes a teacher will come to the class, want to teach children. They can talk history for 20 minutes of their time just to attract the interest of the children to themselves. just to attract the interest of the children to themselves first. When they're able to capture the interest of the children, then they begin to teach. So these are some of the things that this teacher have been taught on how to, deliver on their teaching to the children. And also there is also what we call the same method of explanation. Same method of explanation has also been put in place because you have the same examples. Example A from B, from C, from D, from E, and all of them, they are the same. So they have the same method of explaining things to the children. It makes it easy for the children to understand. So when you ask a child who is at your primary school the same question, you're going to give you the same example. When you ask a child who is at Oregon primary school, he's going to give you the same answer with the same example. That is the work of Edo Best. They also have the same standard of teaching and explanation to the pupils. And when this are not being done, this will enhance the performance of the children. Because then the standards are not the same. And because the standards are not the same, therefore the children also are also being learned or being trained or being taught in the same standard and level. Then when the examination also comes, it also comes in the same way and manner. And that brought Edo State from, I think, number 10 or so to number 3 within this period of Governor Obaseki's regime. If you say you have not seen anything good in Edo Best, I just told you some right now. You guys need to start understanding how Edo is moving forward. In conclusion, because of time, I've taken so much time today. In conclusion, Obaseki is the best thing that happened to Edo State in this generation of ours. For a better future, vote Obaseki. For continuity, vote Obaseki. For good education, vote Obaseki. For sustainability, vote Obaseki. With Obaseki, your tomorrow is sure. And I want to beg my people, please, we are still brothers. No matter the political device you belong to, no matter who you are supporting, election not be war. It is talk your own, make I talk my own. Tell the people how you want or what you feel your candidate or the one you are supporting will do in the next 4 years if being elected into government. That is all you need. Insults will not make people want to follow you. It makes you look more like being afraid of the opponents. Rather, come up with facts and figures. Defend what you believe in and debunk what they are saying not to be true. Election, not be war. Election, not be war. Don't believe these people. Don't take gun for anyone. I'm telling you this. Like I said before, Izeyamu, Tony Kabaka, Odubu, Ogemoyi, and all these people, they were engaged with Shomole. Today, they are Shomole friends. Tony Kabaka, we are for what's it called? Obaseki. Today, they are enemies. So anybody that carried gun last 4 years ago for Obaseki against Izeyamu, today what happened to the person now? It's not Izeyamu friend. So guys, do not allow any of these people to use you for their every timely rituals. They have children. Have you ever seen Oshomole children campaigning? They say it's no. Have you ever seen Izeyamu children campaigning? They say it's no. Have you ever seen Obaseki children campaigning? They say it's no. Don't resort to violence. Your blood, if you die, they will only remember you that very day that you died. After they have won, nobody will remember you again. So play this politics the way it's been played in a well-developed state. Don't resort to violence. No carrying of guns. There is no one singular reason that you should ever take bullet for any politician. No one singular reason that you should ever take bullet for any politician or your family because you are of different political party or ideology or supporting different candidates. Never do that. Those who are being friends. Those who are your friends who are in PDP, remain being friends. Those who are your friends who are in ACN, remain being friends. Do not turn your back on your friends. All because of any man. They do not want your blood. Hear this now. I said, if you watch carefully, the whole political actors today have their families overseas. Until after election, and when they win, they will come back to rule over you. So do not die for them. You that says you are praising, you that they are praising today, will any of these actors allow you marry any of their children if the opportunity comes? Will Izeyamu give his daughter to Tony Kabaka as a wife? Will he do that? The answer is no. You're only being used for thuggery. That is where it ends. They can give you money, but they don't regard you as one who will be their in-law. So let us not die. Rather, let us vote wisely. But youth, make una use una brain. Now God, I take beg una. Not carry gun and not take bullet for anyone. Your family needs you. Your wife needs you. Your husband needs you. Your children needs you. Your parents needs you. Your community needs you. Even if you were worthless, they still prefer that worthlessness with life on it than a dead, worthful son or daughter. Say no to violence. Say no to election malpractice. Vote wise and go home. Election, not be war. God bless you guys. I appreciate you guys today for your time. You guys are wonderful. I say, may the good Lord hear our prayers and give us about 4 + 4 to waba. Nothing go do am. Who say he no go back? That one na for in wahala. But for us, it is a settled matter. God bless you guys.
I never see this kind of people. I never see this kind of more people. Wonder, What's happening? Say you know, wonder. All the people say me to my gotta go. Wonder. I don't want to go, no matter say it. I'm a second come on, hello people. Make people see second to them to smoke you guys for long. I don't see no sound from mountain salary a lot. I don't think I go up with those from under to be now. Mention your people.
God bless you guys. Baba Happy Smith, I greet you, sir. Ediemete Jeff, my namesake, I greet you, sir. My boy Osamuyi, God bless you. Grace Amo, I appreciate you, I respect you. Eric, I respect you, sir. Danny Evans, God bless you. Jennifer Jimo.
Make you check etc. And people say me to carry go. Make you check agriculture. And people say me to carry go. Make you check empowerment. And people say me to carry go. Make you check development. And people say me to carry go. What's happening? Say you know, other people say me to carry go. Wonder. And don't get shut down, you know. So you say to the not correct. Let them shut the dollar. So you say to the not correct. So some people don't go proper. Not go walk in my life. If you collect and you go back. So you say to the enemy. Can't be testing the killer. So you say to the enemy. What's the apple for father? A very big blessing. Can't be testing the killer. So you say to the enemy. That's a key. People say me to carry go. Wonder. Who are the final say the election to people as a final say? Who are the final say the election to people as a final say? The people say now that's a bit more. People make una carry go. Yes, who are the final say the election to people as a final say? Who are the final say the election to people as a final say? The people say now that's a bit more. Even make una carry go. Someone like Italiano. Yes, everyone coming up to say, everyone coming up to say,
Okay, guys, I need to leave you guys now. Thank you, guys. I love you.
mama, we mama,